Hi, thanks for tuning in to Tennis Master, where I'm going to give you an overview of the brand new 2023 Head Radical series. So here I have the Pro. Let's just have a look at the cosmetics. The cosmetics is the same for all the rackets, so it's not going to change. Again, obviously the orange and the blue, it's a similar colorway as you can see here towards the extreme and the speed and the boom as well. So it's they kind of look nice together on a shelf. It's quite nice range now, cosmetically. So that's the cosmetics, big deal. What's changed about the racket? Well, all the frames, not much, is my honest answer. You've got a more dense, according to Head, a more dense 60-19 string pattern. What I think they mean by that is they've kind of closed it in slightly here and here to make the strings slightly denser in the middle of the racket, which gives you a little bit more control, slightly more string life on the sweet spot as well. I can't see too much of a change myself, but that's what they say the racket has. We've also got the sound grommets going around, and what the sound grommets do, they allow your strings to move more. And more string movement equals more power. So if you imagine, imagine those are the strings there, the more that as you hit the ball, it can sink in, the more it's going to fire out and give that power. It's got the variable beam. So again, the slogan of this is it's a people's racket. The last version was no shot you can't play, and it's really tagged it to be a good all-rounder. So you're looking at a racket that can do anything. So in order for that, it's thinner in the middle. This goes to all the frames, although the frames are slightly different in width and weight. I'll come on to that. But it's slightly thinner here, which gives you more feel and more control, and then it widens up slightly towards the edges. Not as pronounced on the Pro, but again, that's to give you that combination of power and control. The big addition to this one, as you can see, is the Auxetic material, which they put in the yoke of the racket down here. Now, what this does, it's quite a unique material, which actually expands as you stretch it. So to give you, that always sounds confusing. Most materials, as you stretch them, they get thinner. This has been supplied by Head, so again, this shows you the kind of structure of Auxetic material. So if I take this and I pull it, as we can see there, you can see it actually widens. It actually thickens as I pull it. So as I push it in, you can see it contracts, and as I stretch it, it expands. Okay, and that's the kind of properties of the Auxetic material, and what they say that does by putting it here in the optimum area, it gives a much better response time, so you get more control as the vibrations come down here, gives you that better response. How much that works, I'm not too sure. It all sounds nice and great, but anyway, it's an addition and it's added in, and that's going to be the real main difference between this and previous models. So what, in terms of the characteristics of the racket itself, like I said before, it's built as a good all-round racket, a shot that anybody, that's good at doing everything: serving, volleying, returning, power control, you name it, the Radical can do it. This is the Pro version, so 315 grams. It's got a slightly thinner beam compared to the MP. And again, this is really going to be geared towards your high-level players. So your best players in the club upwards. You really want to be dealing with serves 100 miles an hour plus, to get the benefits of the weight. If you're not, you're probably not going to, it's not going to warrant going for the Pro. And as I would always say, be careful going up too heavy, especially juniors tend to want to go up a bit too early. Going up too early will put a lot of stress in your shoulder. Okay, so that's for Pro. Again, advanced players, coaches, players playing high level tennis, that's going to be a really good option. So down from that, we now have the MP. So again, it's as the Pro is, it's a 98 square inch. You can get all the specs online. So it's same head size, same string pattern, 60-19. It's a slightly thicker beam. So again, on this one, it's got slightly more power than the Pro. The key thing is the weight. So this is 300 grams. So again, this is really going to be tailored towards your you know, good club players, any kind of regular players, you're playing 2-3 times a week, playing a mixture of singles and doubles, this is going to be a really, really good option. Like I said, 300 grams, that's the flagship racket, the big seller, because obviously at that, you know, the kind of club range, there's a lot of people who are going to fall into that bracket. So that is your MP at 300 grams. All right, this is where things change slightly. So what we have now, in previous head series, you've gone kind of, you've had pro rackets or tour, then you've dropped down to the MP. So some have had pro, some have had tour, some with the MP, or all with the MP. But then when you've gone down from that, you've had MP Lites, which were kind of designed for kind of high performance junior players. Then you had the S range, which was good for kind of spin with an oversized racket, and then you had the kind of the lighter versions of those. So it's really it was just confusing. So what they've done now, you've got the Pro at 315 grams, you've got the MP at 300, then you drop down to the Team at 280 grams, and then you've got the Team Lite at 260 grams. So that makes it a lot more cleaner. There's less options there to get confused with. When you drop down to the Team at 280, you're dropping down the weight, but also you're going on a thicker beam again. I hope you can see that. You can see it slightly thicker, which will give you more power. But also you're going up to a 1 or 2 head size as well. So the head size does change. So it's not just a lighter version of the MP. It does change quite significantly. At 280 grams, this is really geared towards improver intermediate players. So again, players, lady club players, people who are looking for that little bit of extra power. Juniors, so juniors round about 14 under players, they would get on well with this racket. Again, it's good at doing everything. 280 grams, that's your Radical Team. And then the last in the adult series is the Team Lite. So again, very similar to the Team, but you're dropping down in weight to 260 grams. This would be great for beginner and improver players looking for a premium racket to kind of get on with, and also junior players going on to their first adult racket. Again, the head size, that might put some juniors off, especially your high performance players, because you're likely going from 100 square inches up to 1 or 2, and then when you're moving up, you're probably going to be dropping down then. So that's the only thing I'd be cautious of on this one. But again, for beginner improver adults, that's going to be absolutely fine. Again, you've got the 16-19 string pattern, you've got the variable beam, you've got the Auxetics in there. Again, nice addition, and again, I quite like that. If you're probably going to be disappointed if you had the MP Lite and you're looking for a new version of that, because there simply isn't one. As with any new range of rackets, you've got the bag complimentary bag range. So again, this is the Pro Racket bag. Again, really good tour bag, nice and sturdy. It's got your nice compartment there to put in, big compartment to put whatever you want to put in there. And then you've got the thermal inlay there, which is going to be great. That's where you want to keep your rackets, because it's going to keep them cool. So if you're living in a hot country, or it's summertime, you're leaving your rackets in the boot of a car a lot, which I do. If you're not protected, then the heat can really mess with the tension of a racket. So keeping them in a thermal inlay like that is going to really help to protect them. So there's a junior range as well. I've not got the full range in yet, but these are your new kind of junior basic recreational aluminium range. But again, looks quite nice. You've got the 23, 25 and 26. So there it is, the new head Radical series. I think especially with the Pro and the MP, think of rackets like your Wilson Blade and your Babolat Pure Strike. If you're wanting something which is a little bit more similar but a bit more powerful, or the Technifiber T-Fit. If you're using any of those and you feel it just needs a little bit more power, then I would recommend try out the Radical. So hope you got something out of that. It's it's available now all around. Check out Tennis Store Express for a really good range of rackets. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.